Hello, Lauren.
Hello. Oh, are we on? Oh, okay. Well, hello. Good morning, everyone. So happy you can join us today on this a little bit of cloudy, little bit of windy Saturday morning. And we are here today for another double tour Saturday. I will have this morning session with my dear friend Ellery here. And then we'll go see who else we can find after that. And then at 1 o'clock, Kaden will be back on for a special poo tour. So that's going to be fun. I mean, you all are missing out because you're not going to get the smells in it, but I don't know. Give you the next best thing. Yeah. So, anyway, this is us here at Casa Animal Sanctuary. We are located in Saugerties, New York, about 2 hours north of New York City. And we are an animal rescue organization. We focus on domesticated farmed animals. And we have about 300 animals who live with us right now. And we actually got started almost 20 years ago, back in 2001. And we've rescued over 5,000 animals since then. Yep. So, what we do here as a sanctuary, obviously we rescue the animals. A lot of them do come from very sad circumstances where they've been mistreated and things like that. And we give them a home here for the rest of their lives. And another thing we do is, we can't rescue every animal who's out there in the world. So we also try to create change for all animals. And then another way we do that is through championing vegan living. So that is what we do here as a sanctuary. If you have any questions today as we're going along, definitely feel free to put them in the comments there. Love questions, love to answer questions, love when people are curious. So if you got questions on the sanctuary, the animals, whatever else, go for it. Well, let me introduce you to my friend here. So this is Ellery, this turkey right next to me. On the other side of the little fence here is Malika. And there's a couple chickens walking around here. We might take a little stroll by. Ellery is a turkey. She is a broad-breasted white turkey. And she actually came to us several years ago with Malika, with Imogen went somewhere else, with Imogen, and with Howard, so the 4 of them. And the funny thing is, we don't know where they came from. They turned up at our driveway one day. So what we say is that the turkey fairy had some turkeys, got some turkeys, and brought them to us here at the sanctuary for us to take care of them. So that's all we know, and they were still pretty young at that point. And if anyone wants to take a guess around what time of year that was that the turkeys arrived here being rescued, go ahead and put that in the comments. Oh, hi Malika, what are you up to? Malika on the outside there. Malika is molting, so if she looks a little scruffy, that's why. So molting is just when they shed their feathers and grow new ones. It's just that transition time in between where they look a little scruffy, they're a little uncomfortable, so she's good. And if you noticed, Ellery there was she's a little clumsy. Our dear friend Ellery has a lot of medical problems, especially with her feet. So her feet under there, probably can't see them there, but turkeys have 3 toes on each foot, and normally the toes would be like this, and they walk around on all of their toes, right? Ellery here has really bad arthritis, and one of her toes, or one of her feet, the toes tend to curl inwards and underneath. So she kind of is walking on her knuckles on one of her feet and still the 3 toes on the other one. So she has a little bit of a tough time getting around, which is why she's in this kind of separate area here, not with Malika in the big turkey and chicken yard there, just so this way, you know, she doesn't feel threatened by any of the birds. If anyone bothers her, it's not like she's going to try to run away and fall and hurt herself or anything like that. But it's a beautiful day, so we want to make sure she's enjoying some time outside. Ooh, and off she goes. Yeah, so she's a little clumsy when she walks, but she does okay. And then at night, she sleeps in one of our offices, so we can make sure that she's safe and she's okay. So, you know, we want to make sure she's doing good. Are you doing good? Are you distracted by food? Inch up a little bit here. All right. So, did we have any guesses on kind of the time of year when the turkeys arrived? Oh, we didn't. You all are still asleep out there, maybe. I don't know. Well, if there's one time to be it's a bad time to be a turkey, it's gonna be November, right? November with Thanksgiving in it, and also, you know, Christmas coming along soon after that. Ellery is a broad-breasted white turkey again, and they are the ones who commonly will end up on a Thanksgiving dinner table. So had the turkey fairy not found our 4 lovely girls from, you know, wherever, and brought them to us here, little Miss Ellery, she would have been gone years ago. She would have been killed that Thanksgiving. But now, it's been 5 Thanksgivings, huh? She's lived through 5 Thanksgivings. Yay! Yeah, you're so beautiful. And she's just pecking around here for some grass, having a little snack. The birds get to like freely forage in their yard. Yeah, she's got to kind of use her wings to keep herself steady, but she does okay. So yeah, the birds will be out here foraging in their yards for plants to eat and whatever else. And we also will give them 3 meals a day for this crew. We have to give them small amounts of food because these sorts of turkeys and also the little white chickens who's wandering in the background here, who you'll be checking in with later with Caden, so stay tuned for that. They have been bred to grow really big, really fast. Not worrying about like, hey, what's their life going to be like when they're like 5 years old or so, because they don't live that long. So we see at sanctuaries a lot of health problems as these guys are getting older. So we have to be really careful with the amount of food that they eat. So smaller, more frequent meals works better for her. And then, yeah, get some nice healthy grass. Yeah. Good stuff. Now, a turkey's favorite place to be pet. Let me show you that. So turkeys, they don't really like to be pet on their backs. That feels kind of a little scary and threatening to them. But they do like to be pet underneath their wings. So can we find the good preen spot? Oh, is that it? Oh, is that it? Did we find it? Yeah, there it is. So they like a little butt scratch. And this that she's doing right now is preening. So preening is like they use their beak like a comb to kind of clean up their feathers and put them in the right places and all that kind of stuff. So if you pet them and they start preening themselves, that's how it's like, oh, you know you found a good spot. Like, you know, you get a dog behind the ear and they kind of wiggle and they do a little leg kick and things like that. That's how you can tell, right? Is that a good spot? Your feathers are so beautiful.
We have a question.
Question.
What would Delanor do? Okay, sorry, it was all one word, so I was trying to separate it. What would Delanor do? Asks, where does Ellery live at the sanctuary?
Okay, yes. So right now we are in what we call the garden house. Oh, Ruby's helping groom a little bit there. They do sometimes do that to each other. But yes, right now we are in what's called the garden house. And we call it that because there actually used to be a garden here. And then we put a bunch of birds in it. It hasn't been a garden for some time. But the garden house is home to a whole lot of birds. Mostly the little chickens like Ruby, the little white one who keeps kind of wandering by. And like I said, later on today with Caden, you'll check in on those little ones. There's a couple turkeys who live here. And for the most part, the birds who live in here go into that house behind us over there at night. But again, Ellery, because she has her special needs, she'll go into the office of the animal care staff at night. So that's where she'll spend her night, so she'll be safe. Yeah. Oh, did we see something? Oh, there's a truck coming. What do you think about that truck, huh? We're a little excited about the truck right now. The truck stopped, sweetie. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, Ellery's not going to be getting anywhere fast, but she does okay. And actually what we made for her is a wheelchair. So we do have a little wheelchair for her. It goes like underneath her body. It's got little leg holes and also a butthole so she can, still poo from in there. I just shook out a whole bunch of feathers. And so in her wheelchair, she can kind of scoot around and have a good time. And it's also just helpful for her to just take off some weight from her feet and kind of give her feet a bit of a rest. So it helps with that too. Woo! Gotta shake the feathers out. Oh, I think the birds think that their food is in that truck that just went by. Oh, there they go! You see them all running by. They're like, is that the food truck? Is that the food truck? I think it's a little too early, my dears. But I don't know. Might be a little too early. They'll come with it eventually, though. They've never once forgotten you. You know that, right? Yeah, there you go. Good girl. Yeah, we're all a little kind of agitated now that there's been a truck, which is a very exciting thing here. All right, do we have any questions before we maybe move on?
We had a question about what is the sanctuary's goal?
The sanctuary's goal? Well, in an ideal, perfect world, it's sort of one of those things where some nonprofits will be like, if we put ourselves out of business, then like, hey, we did it. Because in a perfect world, these animals would not need to be rescued. In a perfect world, given that like these guys probably came from a turkey farm, and they were living there and for the short time that they were going to be able to, in the ideal world, a turkey farm wouldn't exist, and the people who own it would be doing other stuff than farming turkeys. So our real goal is, at the end of the day or week or month, whenever, is we want to make this world a better place for the animals. And that includes the humans too. Don't forget the humans, we're animals too. So in an ideal world, no animals would be exploited for food, or for fibers, or for milk, or for any type of material, or for like testing in labs or entertainment, any of that kind of stuff. So I guess the short version is our goal is a vegan world where everyone is respected equally and no one is used for another. Sounds good, huh? I hope we got some thumbs up and things in the chat for that. All right. Well, shall we move on? All right. Thank you, Ellery. It's good to see you again. Ellery actually was living in our non-animal care staff office for a bit, and it was so funny. She'd sit right by the doorway where she could see the main door, and she'd just kind of be like, "Okay, who's coming in? Okay." When it was colder out, so she couldn't really come outside during the day when it was too cold. But now that it's nice, she's been enjoying herself. It's good to get some sunshine. Stretch the legs a little bit. All right, but let's go ahead and head on out. No, you can't come in here, my dear. No. All right, so yeah, that's Ellery's separate little home in there. Hi guys, more turkeys. Malika's still a little mad about something over here. Imogen, you wouldn't give me a hug earlier. Can I have a hug now? Can I have a hug now? Hello. Can I have a hug? bugs today. I don't know. Maybe they got a whole word about that whole, like, the humans are doing this social distancing thing, but they're not doing it with us. Why do they keep trying to hug us? Maybe that's it. I don't know. They're smarter than they let on. Turkeys have a pretty good brain. It's, on the small side, but they got small heads. There's a lot that goes on in that brain. Them and the chickens. Very clever. Are you very clever? You got a little something stuck to your face, though. You got a little. Maybe it's the snack related. Alright, well, off we go. Let's go through the store on this side. One moment. Right, here we go. Make sure none of the birds wander out. Oh, other way. Okay, so we're gonna go on a little walk. There we go. To get back towards the main barn, which is that direction. And we're gonna hopefully find my dear Christopher, who is a sheep, who I've mentioned several times, but we haven't actually, crossed paths with. So hopefully we'll do that now. And in the meantime, questions again, keep putting them in the comments there. And yeah, I hope you all are having a good day. The sun is kind of really coming out now here, so it's nice. It's like seeing all the plant life kind of be coming back. There's some dandelions popping up over there, and Sister Mary Frances, that little gray pot-bellied pig, she loves to eat those. So I'm sure that dandelion's not going to be here too much longer. It's so funny. She just only will pick the dandelion. She'll be walking, and she'll be like, "Oh, a dandelion. Oh, next one. Oh, next one," and only go for those. But girl knows she knows what she likes. So Oh, there's my boy. We'll see. But in the meantime, as we're walking, just a reminder: we do have our text to donate feature. So if you text CAS to 91999, you can very easily help support the sanctuary here. Times are kind of tough for everyone, so any amount of support that you can give us, thank you so much. And even if you can't donate, if you can just kind of keep sharing our videos and getting the word out about us, tell your friends about the live streams and all that, also awesome and very helpful. So, yes. We're coming by some other sheep over here. Hi, guys. Oh, you doing good? Hi, what's up? Hey, handsome. Oh, hello, good guy. Hello. This is Atticus, and he's a big dude. Are you a big guy? Oh, you're so good, though. All right, let's see if we can find Christopher without me falling in the mud. Okay, there we go. There is he. Oh, there he is. Hey, what's up, ladies? Christopher. I don't know where he went. Oh, question? Yes, go for it.
How long have you been vegan for?
So me personally, it has been a little over 5 years. So yeah, we'll take a quick pause here, I think, and see if Christopher will come out. And so it's been a little over 5 years. Funny story. I had never really known too much about vegetarian, vegan, any of that kind of stuff until I visited here. I had been working in Delaware and then got a job up here in New York, and the place that I was hired at had a summer camp, and the person who I was replacing set up a visit for the summer camp to come to the sanctuary. And I was like, all right, if I'm gonna bring kids to see this place, I should probably go there myself beforehand and see what's up about it, so I know how to prepare the kids and everything for the camp. So that was, I want to say it was July 3rd in 2015. Came up here, went on a tour, and just just like blew my mind about all kinds of things. This was the first opportunity that I had to meet animals like this when they're just like, you know, living their lives, doing their things, and that. So when I drove up the driveway over there and out the gate, I was vegetarian that day. And then the vegan part took a little bit longer after that. So yeah, it was because of coming to visit this place right here. Yep, I remember who was on that tour. Oh, Stencil is a goat who's passed away sadly, but he followed us along for the whole tour. Some of you might remember him from a few years ago. But... Well, my boy is still not here. Nina, where's Christopher? He was here. I don't know. He's keeping his own schedule. We see Shirley. Okay, who's that in the barn there? Is that Michelle?
Yes.
Is Christopher in there somewhere? We're gonna enlist some help. Are they closed in right now? Oh, here he comes. Oh, good boy. Come here, all right, teamwork. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle is our homestead manager. So if you've stayed at the homestead, which is our guest house on site up at the top of the hill there, come on, buddy. Oh, good boy. But the homestead is currently, closed. So Michelle is wonderful, and she is helping out with animal care, which is super great, and helping get my boy Christopher. Hello. Oh, and Nina's here. We met Nina. Okay, Nines, don't scare Christopher off. Yes, I know. Nina is very pushy. Yes, but it's okay. I have 2 hands, right? So yes, I have mentioned Christopher a couple times now. I think last time I was asked who is my favorite animal here, and I said they're all my favorites, but Christopher is my favorite. And so here he is. Isn't he the most handsome creature you've ever laid eyes on? Yeah, you are. You're looking a little scrappy right now, though, huh, dude? So, I had been talking about this the other day, about the difference between sheep who shed on their own and those who don't. So, yes, Christopher. Yep, you are in the way of the camera, because you're very handsome. Yeah. So, like Nina here, this hair is not going to come up. I know. Hi, I see you. Can you just... I am petting you. What more do you want from me? Christopher's going around the other side of the camera. But like Nina, the hair on her is not going to come off on its own. So in another month or so, this is going to have to get shorn off of her. You haven't had that happen yet, have you? Yeah, that's not going to be your favorite day, my dear. Can you? So on one hand, I'm being hit by a sheep, and the other hand, Christopher keeps getting in the way of the camera. You silly boy! So goofy. Now Christopher, though, is like a wild sheep, because remember, wild sheep don't have to be sheared, because, like, obviously, they just, like, scratch the wool off the wool off all on their own, against, like, rocks or bushes or things like that. So actually, this stuff, where's a good club? Oh, not that one. There we go. So this stuff just comes off on its own. Nina, can you stop, please? Yes, we have a question. She's standing on me. Nina, okay, out. You're a little heavier than you look, sweetheart. Thank you.
No pressure. But Kathy Stevens asks 2 questions. Why do you think it's taking humans such a long time to understand why veganism is so important?
Capital letters there.
Capital letters there. So that's question number 1, and then there's a second one once you get there.
All right. Why do I think it's taken so long? I mean, for me, it did take... How old was I then? Was I 29? I think so. I was either 28 or 29. Kaden goes shrug behind the camera. Yeah, Kaden doesn't know how old I was then. But yeah, I was like 28 or 29 at that point. So like, it took me a while. Some of it just has to do with I had never had an opportunity to just meet animals like this, and just, they're out here just doing their thing, and it's like, this is a sheep. Hi, sweetie. You are being so silly. But yeah, and so some of it is, if people don't know things. So that's why education is such a huge part of what we do here at the sanctuary, to help people learn and help people understand. And then, a lot of it is just, this is the climate we grow up in, I am from a town in Massachusetts, and in, mainstream United States culture, we eat animals. So I grew up doing that. I never, was presented with another opportunity from that. If I was born in a different place or a different time, I would have grown up with other ideas. So yeah, part of it is not knowing, and a part of it is just what is given to you and what you have opportunity to learn and discover for yourself. Yeah. Means, what are you doing?
Second question.
Follow up to that.
Do only boys have horns?
Oh, so for the sheep, do only boys have horns? So no, the girls should have them as well. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Give me your knees. Here's your beautiful face. There you are. So, Christopher's got some pretty impressive horns there. You're so impressive. Everything about you is perfect. Means you're obnoxious. So people will sometimes ask if Christopher's a goat because he's got those curly horns. But he's not. He's a sheep. And hey,
Oh.
did she just do that? Look at how he's walking. I didn't even get a chance to tell the story yet. Now he's walking away. He's sad. Shirley's here now as well. Anyway, you're a brat. Yes, you are. Oh, and now I misjudged my And now I've lost my train of thought. Oh, horns, yes. So the girl sheep will have horns as well. One thing that does make it, kind of difficult to tell sometimes is that a lot of times they'll have their horns when they're younger, cut off or burned off, which is not a great time. That's part of their skull. It's attached to them. They don't shed their horns or anything. Like deer grow antlers, shed the antlers, grow new ones, shed them. Doesn't work that way. These guys have one set and one set only. So you do see that on some of the sheep who are here, that if you kind of look around on the top of their head, they'll have a little bump where they should have had their horns had they been able to keep them. You don't really have any little bumps, do you? No, you don't really have any. So rude. What do we do with you? You already had your time on the camera. Remember that? That was Tuesday. You remember? I know you remember because sheep have a great memory. But I suppose the word Tuesday means nothing to you. Anyway. All right. How are we doing on time here? Well, my boy wandered away. But I do have to tell his story. From when he was a baby. Right? Here, you have a cookie. Even though you're naughty, you can have a cookie. Did you hear the magic word? He's back now. Did you hear the magic word of cookie? Such a good boy. Hi, yes, now you can have some. So Christopher is he's been with us here. I'm sorry, she's just really obnoxious. And you're so cute! I can't handle it. You're so cute, but you're so annoying. This is my favorite way to be, though, surrounded by sheep. Love it. So yes, my boy Christopher, he was... we want to get a good wiggle? We want to get a good wiggle. Oh, here's a good spot. There's a good spot. Oh, is that it? And this is how you can tell a sheep is enjoying themselves. They do the wiggle dance. Oh my gosh, are you silly? Are you silly? Oh my gosh, yes you are. So my boy Christopher, he was a surprise baby. So we don't breed animals here at the sanctuary. We spay and neuter or separate as necessary so that no one's having babies around here. And I'm sure you can think of why. We don't want to be bringing more animals into the world here when there are still so many more who need to be rescued. So we don't breed the animals. Sometimes we do have babies if the mothers are pregnant when they are rescued. So, the baby was along for the ride. So that is what happened with Christopher. It was like Christmas Eve back in, what year is that, dude? 2006. 2006. And there was a sheep running around in New York City. And a lot of times when we say that, I don't know if Nina's peeing on camera. Memes. Yes, but a lot of times when we tell stories about our friends here at the sanctuary who are former New York City residents, like Christopher's mother, Noelle, like Bruce the duck who we saw a little bit ago, people would be like, whoa, why is there a duck in New York? Why are there sheep in New York City? Like, how did they get there? Well, it's like how Nina got there. There are live markets and slaughterhouses and places like that in the city, and the animals want to live, so some of them will escape. No idea where his mother, Noelle, came from, but thankfully, someone who knew about us was able to grab her and bring her up here to us. And we put her up in one of these stalls here at for the night and got her all, comfy and bedded in and with food and water. And then we closed the door to let her settle in and let her get some sleep. And Kathy Stevens, our founder, who had asked that question a little bit ago, she says that she came down like really late that night to just check on all the animals, and there was still one sheep in that stall, just the mother. And then the next morning, it was Christmas morning, and the animal care staff showed up to check in with the animals, and 2 sheep. So, ta-da! Our little boy Christopher. And if you have visited the sanctuary anytime since, well, I guess 2006, which does make Christopher one of the... Hi, guys. Hey, Shirley. Oh, it's okay. Let's see if Shirley wants a cookie. Yeah, he's one of the ones who have been with us the longest. Hi, my dear. Remember, Shirley's the one who's really shy. Got it? Oh, good girl. Good girl, Shirley. Yay. She's precious. She's just very, very shy. This is a lot of interaction for Shirley, even if I had to bribe her. But yeah, if some of you remember Christopher, one second. Christopher and his mother, Noelle, they were really, really shy. And if you even got near them, they'd both be like, and then they run away. And they would just be staring at you, be like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Nope. And then they run away and leave. So what happened was over time, you two behave. Over time, Christopher did kind of start to come out of his shell. Especially, this is kind of the sad part, but his mother, when she passed away, which was a couple of years ago, she was just really old and she had some scarring in her lungs and things from her earlier days. So, we had to let her go. And so since then, Christopher has kind of been like, okay, Mom's not here anymore, because he was always very protective of his mother, especially as she got older. So he was always checking on her, making sure, she's okay. If he couldn't find her, he'd be like, and he'd run around, he'd be, hi, looking for Mom. And so, yeah, once she had passed away, he did, mourn for her. He lived with her his entire life, as it should be. And then that's kind of when he was coming out of his shell, and so now he does like to come and see people, but right now he's having a snack. If you want to get him too, there he goes. He's enjoying a nice snack in the barn. All right, and we had a question?
We did have a question, yes, which is why do they cut the sheep's tails? I know it's hard to see. I know it's hard to see Christopher at the moment. We'll see if we can get a little closer as he has his snack.
He's got a skinny little tail there. Oh, and Junior came out. Hi, Junior. So Junior is Christopher's friend. Junior is like 1,000,000 years old. And by that I mean he's in his late teens, which is pretty old for a sheep. And Christopher will keep an eye on him and make sure that he's safe, because Junior is blind now, mostly blind now, and a little senile. So Christopher will be like, okay, we just gotta make sure Junior's okay, that he's not getting into any trouble. He's not wandering off somewhere where he might not be safe. No? Okay, he'd rather have a snack. That's okay. But yeah, so like they sleep together at night, and they're just really adorable. And Junior's a good boy. Such good boys. Yes, the tails. Okay, so Christopher, again, born here. That's why he has his horns still, because of course we're not gonna like do anything to his horns that would hurt him. And he still has a tail, because we're not gonna cut off his tail, because that's, you know, part of his body. He needs, and plus that helps them kind of keep their bum clean. So what happens though is, like, with the ones who have to be shorn, in order to make it easier to shear them, they will cut the tail off. Like the people who have the sheep will cut the tails off, and that's not a good time for the sheep either. Oh, and hello, visitors. Everyone's coming around today. This is great. We're getting a little bit of everyone. So we have the handsome rooster, Sebastian. We have the white hen here is Sidra. And just disappearing around the corner there is Pilar, the light brown one. And they are just this cute little trio. Sidra and Pilar did come in together, so they were rescued together. So they've been, like, you know, best friends for life. Oh, there's also a pig behind me. And yeah, Sebastian joined their little crowd. And Sister Mary Frances is here. We got a couple of minutes left, sister. What are you doing? You got an itch? Can I help you with that? You got it. I think she might have it. So this is our dear little Sister Mary Frances. So this is how you know the weather's starting to get nicer. Because in the wintertime, this pig, hi, oh yes, hello, hello. Can you see your little face? No? You gotta, oh, you're still itchy. She's still scratching herself. But yeah, in the wintertime, this little one is like, nope, and she does not want anything to do with the winter. She spends pretty much the entire winter under a pile of straw and blankets. So that is the acceptable form of a pig in a blanket. Is her, and she's just really cute, just like burrowed down under there, and you can't even see her. But if you go in there, she yells at you, so she knows you're there. Oh, there's a butt. You're a cute butt. Oh, she's so itchy. But yeah, once it starts warming up, then she's like, yes. And then she goes exploring. Ooh, and there's a question.
So we've got one question about Sister Mary Frances saying she's small for a pig, which is true.
She is. So she is a potbelly pig. So she is just a smaller. Hi, pig. Hey, piggy. Oh, gross. Oh, that was gross. Oh, that was gross. Let me wipe off my face real quick. Oh, my glasses, sweetie. Oh, my glasses.
Bye, Mary.
Nope, she's got to go investigate another stall for some leftovers, I think. Yeah. All better now. So yes, she is a potbelly pig. So potbelly pigs are smaller than, like, the big pigs, like, say, Amelia. Like, if you were checking in on our live stream the other day on Thursday, then you saw Amelia and, like, Lucy and Ginger, and they're all, like, big ones, right? So potbellies do stay smaller, not like a teacup pig or something like that, because those don't, like, really exist. Pigs, you know, that's about as small, more or less, as a pig gets, his little sister. So yeah, that's why she's smaller. She's just a
different type of pig. Like you got big dogs, you got small dogs. You got big pigs, you got small pigs. And there was another question, is that right?
We did. We have, let me just scroll to find it now. Actually, I'm going to answer this one real quick. How old can sheep live till? Into their late teens. And then how many sheep do we have? Do they form cliques and have their favorite animals and people?
So, how many sheep are here? Let me think real quick. But there's like 13 or something over there. Because there's 4 in Scout's crew. There's 10 from Westport. That makes 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Briggs and Stratton over on our other property. 21. Does that seem right, Hayden? Yeah, so about 21, more or less. If I had forgotten someone, I will feel awful about it. So do they have their own little groups and things? They do. So we do try to keep them together with like other sheep who they were rescued with, because then those are other sheep who they know. Hello. So like if you know Scout, Atticus, Micah, and Zeke, they were all rescued together, so they all live together. And then we introduced other sheep to them, like Stuart, Lena, all those guys and their babies. And they all get along pretty well. You'll definitely see kind of little groups within that of like, if they're related, like Bertha and Liza and Susie. Bertha's the mom. Liza and Susie are her twin daughters. So like you'll definitely see them hanging out a lot. I'll also see Zeke hanging out a lot with the younger girl sheep, which I'm not thrilled about. Zeke. What do we do with Zeke? No, he's a good boy. He just always is hanging out with the younger girl sheep. But Shirley, our very dear shy sheep, she was the one who never really wanted anything to do with the other sheep. Okay, my knees. Until Nina found her and was like, "Mom, you're mom now," and adopted Shirley as her mother. So, and then they kind of formed a little bond there. So yeah, I mean, just like anyone else, some of them are more loners, like they don't really want anything to do with others of their own species, you know, just like some people are more introverted, more shy. Some of them are like, you know, Scout, who's just like everybody's friend. Yeah, just all sorts of them. Christopher will kind of keep a little more to himself. He's got his buddy Junior. He'll hang out with Nina and Shirley, but like he won't hang out with the big crowd over there. So, yeah. And then the other 2 sheep who I mentioned, Briggs and Stratton, they live on our other property, and it's just the 2 of them who live together over there. So, sisters back. All right, I think we are. Ooh, that's just about time. Any last questions? If you think of any more questions, remember Caden is going to be back here. Come here, buddy. Caden's going to be back here at 1 o'clock for a very special tour, the Poop Tour. Some of you might remember that we offered that here at the Sanctuary last fall, and it was hugely popular, that we were turning people away from it because we had a limit. So we had to tell some people, like, no, you have to do the next one. But now, excuse me, isn't he wonderful? He's so wonderful. I wasn't petting him, so he had to go behind the camera and like. Now I've lost my train of thought because I was distracted by the pure beauty of Christopher. Poop Tour, yes, there we go. So now there's gonna be no limit on it, so everyone can come and check it out. So tell a friend. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be silly, maybe a little gross, but again, you're gonna miss out on the smells. So sorry about that. Your loss, I guess. And yeah, keep watching, keep checking us out. Check out our website, casanctuary.org. If you are a teacher or maybe like a Boy Scout or Girl Scout troop leader, or you have like a, you know, some other youth group that you want to set up one of these virtual sanctuary sessions for your group, you can send me an email. I am Lauren at casanctuary.org, or pop over to our website on the visit page, and there's a form that you can fill out. So we'll get your information and we can get you set up on the schedule, and then you can have your own little session with the animals. Yeah, so that's what we got for now, folks. We will see you again in a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. We miss you. We love you. We can't wait to be able to have you all back here, and we hope that wherever you are, you're doing well, and that you're safe, and those who you care about are doing well too. So, all right, take care. See you again in a little bit.